Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans, where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day. Guys, Guardians of the Galaxy is a new TV spot out that we'll take a look at. We got some run times for Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon. And if you like The Irishman coming in at 4 hours, well, you may also like what that movie comes in at. It's supposed to be his longest movie ever. We'll talk about that. Little Mermaid has a runtime out as well. We got some wicked images to look at, some TV headlines, some hit or miss stuff. Of course, it's Monday, so we'll be talking about the weekend's box office. But let's talk about that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 TV spot that dropped this morning. Guys, are you a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy? I'm slowly starting to get hyped because, yeah, it's just around the corner, right? Comes out next month, and the TV spot doesn't show that much. I am Groot. Yeah, so he's older now.
I know who you are already.
Yeah, all that stuff looks fantastic. It's just a quick little TV spot, May 5th, right? Yeah, so we're literally weeks away now. Tickets on sale now. We don't need to do that kind of. Advanced ticketing is only for like big cities and stuff like that. But like, it doesn't show up too much more. And this is where we started to get into like spoiler. Like some people don't want to see all the stuff in the TV spots. Of course, it doesn't reveal too much.
I will destroy the Guardians with their fire.
Okay, so that's our villain. I will destroy the Guardians. This guy. I still have no idea who this guy is. Big comic book fans out there know who this guy is, but that's going to be our main villain. Yeah, Adam Warlock is going to be kind of like a minion of his to begin with or something, but he'll flip sides or something. Because there's Drax fighting Adam Warlock, played by Will Poulter, which I think is going to look, I think it looks awesome. I think Drax is going to bite it in this one. Yeah. You can tell it's Drax. The final tour. Yeah.
With their final tour.
I think it just looks, looks pretty good, man. May 5th, God, this is just around the corner. How many weeks is that, James? Well, if I pull up my old calendar here, 2 weeks from now. So not this Friday, not the next Saturday, so 3 Fridays from now. But it's basically 2 weeks because this week has already started for me. That's the way that I look at it. Good TV spot. Of course, we see Sylvester Stallone's going to be back in this one. That's fine. Rocket. So who do you guys got your money on? Is it going to be Rocket or is it going to be Drax that dies? Because I'm pretty sure that one of this is going to die. What the heck is this in his... Oh yeah, this is that suburban neighborhood where there's like a bunch of aliens living there. So it looks like Adam Warlock comes there and maybe kidnaps one of them. But I like this line at the end where he's like, I am Groot. And you can tell that it's the other Gamora because she's like getting angry with him. And there's Quill there just kind of like,
I know who you are already.
Well, that's Zoe Saldana. I think she's going to knock it out of the park. And this, they've made Rocket look so awesome in this. Was he in 0 G's there or something like that, firing his gun? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 TV spot out this morning. There was another TV spot for Fast X, but I'm not quite ready to be hyped for that one yet because that's later in May, right? But I just thought it would be just kind of a cool way to start off our Monday here. Just adjust this light here. See if I can get a little bit more. Ooh. I don't know. Guys, I'm trying out a new light system because summer is just around the corner and I'm trying to, because I use big lamps to do my normal lighting and it does look a little bit darker on this side. I apologize for that, but hey, I'm learning to use this ring light here that this LED, so not as much heat comes off of it, because once summer comes around, you know, I usually tone it down in the summer anyway because I just can't sit here roasting. I can't. So if this helps, all of these other lights, if they help, that'll be great. Anyway, I'm digressing. let's get into the weekend's box office report. It's Monday, so you know what that means. Time to talk about the weekend's box office report. Let's get into it. For April 14th to the 16th, the top 5 movies at the weekend's box office are: number 1 was Super Mario Bros. Number 2 was The Pope's Exorcist. Cool. Number 3 was John Wick Chapter 4. Number 4 was Renfield. Number 5 was Air. We have some other new movies that came out with Suzume, Mafia Mama, and Beau is Afraid, Dump It, and limited release. There's some other ones like Nefarious, Sweetwater. I never heard of those ones. Notice here that they don't show the re-release of Lord of the Rings. Huh. Because that Lord of the Rings had like a re-release that was making like some money. But Super Mario is the big headline there. Smashes at the box office. Only a downgrade of 40% from week 1 to week 2. $87 million is huge. I forecasted 70. So that's even higher for that. Super Mario is smashing it out there. It's going to be a $1 billion movie this year. It's going to be like the first $1 billion movie, right? 347.8 domestically, 330 internationally, 677.9 now. That's probably even higher now after things get adjusted. But yeah, 677.9. It's going to easily make. Because here's the thing with April here. You just got all these other horror movies like Pope's Exorcist and Renfield coming out. Next week, you have Evil Dead Rise. So Super Mario is basically the only other like kid-friendly kind of thing. Dungeons and Dragons is kid-friendly. I don't know that much about Suzume, but the studios they gotta be happy with that Super Mario Bros. Take in that hall. So just taking some live comments here, some reactions. Is that Lord of the Rings an upcoming movie or TV series? Doesn't have a release date yet. We'll talk about that in just a few moments. Guardians of the Galaxy was a fantastic movie. Action nostalgia. My first introduction to Chris Pratt and co was positive. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to number 3. As I said, we're just like 2 weeks away from it now. After this week, so 2.5 weeks away. That's fine. That's great. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 had a bad guy is the high evolutionary. He had dices and splices of animal DNA, make hybrids. I think Rocket. You think Rocket's going to buy it, huh? And Christopher says, I went to see Renfield and Nicolas Cage, the movie. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Yeah. We'll talk about Renfield here in just a moment. That it was good. It was really good. But out of the 2 new releases of Pope's Exorcist and Renfield, Pope's Exorcist beat it out. So Exorcism with Russell Crowe. And between John Wick Chapter 4 and Renfield, there was only a difference of what? 180 million there? 200 million? No, less. Like that's less. That's 150 million. Oh, sorry, 150,000. Sorry, 150,000, not a million. 150,000 between Renfield and John Wick Chapter 4. So that could have easily switched places there. But Pope's Exorcist came in at the second spot. Mario's going to blow it out of the park, right? And I did go out and see Pope's Exorcist. Let's take a look. 9.1 domestically, internationally to 27.4. So for a worldwide total of 36.5. What did the Pope's Exorcist budget have? So the budget for Pope's Exorcist was only 18 million. That's good. That's really good. And that's a movie that has lots of CGI. It does. Which makes me think about Super Mario Bros. Not that Super Mario Bros. Is struggling. Like, you wonder what that budget was, guys. That budget came in, they're saying that the budget for that came in around 100 million. For an animated movie. This is what I don't understand. Now, the voice cast can't be... Like, all the voice cast does is they come into these booths. Some people can even do it at home and just... Yeah, remote link, have it all set up and they just record it. I don't understand why the voice cast for it shouldn't cost that much. Maybe 20 million just alone for the cast. Like, that's even high because you're not getting you're not sending them to set. You're not setting them up in like trailer cities or anything like that. So it's kind of like the voice cast should have only cost maybe 10 million at the most. And that's being generous, saying, I'm going to give you $1 million just to come in and voice this thing for the weekend kind of thing, right? Maybe up to a week you'll be spending in the studio coming in and recording these lines. up to a week. Maybe that's it. And you're going to say that that cost $20 million. So where is this all going into? Because if you're thinking, I'm thinking that Pope's Exorcist, that has some CGI in it, but it's still like they go to these places and they film all these exact locations for $18 million. What I'm getting that, like, yeah, it has lots of visual, well, it's a cartoon. You know what I'm saying? Why is that budget so high for Super Mario? Not that they're complaining. They were going to make the money, but it's kind of like, it gives me pause. I get the sense that when it's the budget's this high, you're getting a lot of fluff for like executive pay. I'm the executive producer, so I get paid a certain amount of money because I'm putting this together. It's kind of like, yeah. But it's still just like it's an animation studio putting this out, so it shouldn't like, yeah, I'm just kind of lost. Why is that so high? Like a cartoon should not cost that much to produce. People do it all the time with much more less budget, and it just gives me pause. Someday I'll figure out where all that money went into, but it's fine because it's blowing it out of the park at the box office. But the Pope's Exorcist, yeah, 18,300,000. So that's like 2 times the budget right now. So that's on an opening weekend haul. That's fantastic. The thing is that it's not being very well received. Pope's Exorcist, I enjoyed it because of Russell Crowe. I'm a Russell Crowe fan. He pretty much, yeah, he carried the film, but it had some good acting. But it spawned articles like the Pope's Exorcist continues a huge Russell Crowe lead problem. And I don't know if it's really a problem. I guess it's a point of view kind of thing. The Pope's Exorcist continues Russell Crowe's trend of giving great performances in bad movies. The thing is that it wasn't a bad movie. It was a generic kind of Hollywood exorcism movie with people floating and having the growly voices and stuff like that. But it was much more intriguing. I like the investigation aspects of it, and there's just some cool scenes in there that are not like the are not like the exorcism stuff. It's just him dealing with the bureaucracy of like the Vatican and stuff like that too, which I really enjoyed. But I wouldn't really call it like a bad movie. Yeah, and they try to buttress this argument by saying like The Mummy with Tom Cruise also sucked. So it's kind of like, nah. And I like that scene, like the stuff in The Mummy, like him as Dr. Hyde, or Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? Dr. Jekyll, is that what he was? Yeah, he was Jekyll and Hyde basically. But I like just the scenes of them talking. That stuff was great, and we should watch The Mummy actually. That's on Netflix right now, isn't it? Because I like that. And we're getting into a Russell Crowe mood. Maybe that'll lead us in. Oh no, maybe we should wait till Gladiator 2 actually comes out. But yeah, spawns that problem. I don't give that much credence. As I said, I enjoyed it. Renfield was the other movie that opened up this weekend, so let's take a look at that. 7.7 million domestically, 2.2 internationally, 10 million worldwide. Now this one, let me put it to you guys like this. What do you think had a higher budget? Did Renfield or Pope's Exorcist have a higher budget? Let me know in the comments. Arglass says the market budget for Mario must have been substantial. It's been too well advertised. Well, that's like the budget for Mario. That's 100 million. That's just to make it. That's not including marketing budgeting. So like, I mean, they didn't pay. Somebody that would come in and say they paid Jack Black $5 million to come in and do Bowser. No. They paid Chris Pratt another $5 million and Annie Taylor-Joy $5 million to come in and read this part. As a studio executive, how, like, it's just like, no. No. We're still left in that little experiment age where I don't know if it's still worthwhile to have the big studios have these like voice actors come in that are like well-known actors to do it, because I still think like Mario could have passed if it was like normal voice actors. It still would have made money and success. The thing is that all those celebrities help on the red carpet. They do. So maybe that's the payoff. Maybe that's the trade-off. I'm not sure. Arglass says Renfield must have had higher with the higher SFX. Yeah, Renfield did. Renfield had a budget of $65 million. Ooh. And I enjoyed Renfield a lot. I had fun with it. If you're a Nicolas Cage fan, then you would have loved that. But like the budget for $65 million, that seems high too. $10 million, but it's got lots of special effects. It's got lots of stunts, wire work. 65 million for Renfield, seriously? And yeah, 60% by the critics, 81 by the audience. It's fun movie. It is. It's an hour and 30 minutes. It's nice, short and concise. See Nicolas Cage doing his Nicolas Cage-isms as Dracula. I praised it enough over the weekend. Out of the two, it's just, yeah, Renfield is fun. That's all it is. It's a fun horror movie where it's bloody, it's gory, and Nicolas Cage just having fun. So 65 million seems awfully high, though. 65 million. I'm dumbfounded by that. That's what it came in. Yeah, guys. Renfield budget, yeah. 65 million. And it's just like, wow. And it's only made a $10 million. So it's going to be a bomb. That's what Renfield is in store. Like, it's not going to open up in an international market now and just go boom. The only plus side, as I said, is that it's kind of a slow month for other big releases. Like next week, Evil Dead Rise comes out. And let's say that Super Mario gets chopped in half here, another 40% or even 50%. So if it goes down to like 40 million next week, is Evil Dead Rise going to make $40 million at the box office? No. So Super Mario is going to have like a 3-week run here, if not more. Actually, Super Mario is probably going to be on the top until, well, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out. Unless I'm missing one here at the end of April. Maybe I am. But yeah, it's going to have staying power. And then the bonus thing for Renfield and Pope's Exorcist and Evil Dead Rise is that because there's nothing else big, huge coming out, they're going to have some staying power for a couple of weeks. It's going to be moderately staying power. It's not going to be a big boost or anything like that. So it's a bummer for Renfield that it's not going to make its gross back, but Pope's Exorcist has. Pope's Exorcist has, because they kept the budget lower, guys. They kept the budget lower. And Renfield was a gamble, and it doesn't look like that gamble will pay off. Okay. Yeah. Renfield. Ben Schwartz says he enjoyed being strangled by Nicolas Cage. Yeah, he was kind of like the pseudo side villain antagonist. And yeah, look at the makeup. Like the makeup in it, man. It was good. A joy to be strangled by Nicolas Cage. Yeah. Anyway, I've rambled on about that a little bit long enough. Let's take a look at what some of the other new releases. Suzume. That's an anime. 2.8 domestically, 143 internationally, 146. So yeah, it's big in Japan, China, stuff like that. So a moderate action adventure. I got too much to see this week. Between that and Mafia Mama is the only other one that I thought that maybe I would go out and see. Mafia Mama, 2 million domestically. No international numbers for that. Toni Collette plays like a normal housewife that inherits like a mob boss's empire. I thought it looked funny. And I still want to go see it. I'm probably going to go see it tomorrow on Cheap Tuesday, Half Price Tuesday. But those are pretty much the numbers that we've had for the weekend's box office. Some other minor releases. And Beau is Afraid, the Ari Aster movie, opened up in 4 theaters. It made 320,000 in just 4 theaters. That's good. Now, it is getting some mixed reception. Beau is Afraid. So, yeah, we need to take a look at that. The first Minions movie by Illumination was 74 million in 2015, so it could be just inflation from Mario Bros. Maybe. I don't understand it. The computer technology is getting so much easier to render things. Once they got like all the models for everything, I don't understand why it should take that much. Yeah. All right. Let's get into what's next. Beau is Afraid. Yeah, we just talked about Beau is Afraid. Just opened up in 4 theaters there, but it has been getting some early reviews, and it's kind of mixed, guys. If you were a fan of Ari Aster, oh yeah, that's the other one that's opening up this month, right? Ari Aster's Beau is Afraid, which I'm looking forward to because I did like Hereditary. I was a little meh with Midsummer. I was kind of like middle of the road. I'm on the more side of hating it. But I do like him as a visionary, right? Ari Aster. So Beau is Afraid with Joaquin Phoenix, kind of like a mama's boy throughout the ages who deals with his traumas. I was looking forward to that aspect, but it had a big opening. I guess that 300 and what did I say? 320 domestically for only 4 theaters. Yeah, that's a big opening, right? So yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is in this. Beau is Afraid. But what's the buzz? The buzz is that 75% by the critics, 64 by the audience. So it's a long movie, 2 hours and 59 minutes. So it's 3 hours, guys. 3 hours of abstract kind of storytelling of this one character throughout time dealing with aspects of life. And it goes to that thread that perhaps maybe Ari Aster was given a little too much rope by the studios just to go off and create whatever you wanted. Just let your mind go wild. And then they delivered this 3-hour block of, ugh. Let's take a look at some of the snapshot reviews. Globe and Mail says, Beau is Afraid is not a movie for everyone. Actually, it is a movie for very, very few. But I just happen to be part of the teeny tiny target audience. And for me, Beau Afraid kills. So if you're a fan, if you are part of that niche audience that this movie's going for, it'll resonate with you. Well, geez, that sounds very, that's not very insightful. Get out of here with that, Globe and Mail. The New Yorker didn't like it. They said, does Aster think we're too slow or too dumb to pick up his hints as we go? Some viewers will revel in such excess. I found it even more wearisome. So yeah, it's a little bit mixed. It's not going to be the highest one. LA Times says Beau is Afraid offers arresting confirmation of Aster's talent and fresh evidence of his limitations. And that's a good one. His limitations of what he can and cannot do, what he can get away with. And Parker Posey's in this, so I want to check this one out for sure. I'm a big fan of hers. So, yeah. So, New York Times also says, it is tough to care about a mouse who matters so much less to the filmmaker than the shiny mousetrap where he's imprisoned you both. That's abstract. Huh. There are 2 main positives here. The cast filled with wonderful supporting actors and the production design, particularly in the fabulous forest set theatrical sequence. However, Aster is not as shocking, funny, or thought-provoking as he thinks he is. So he's really overstretching in this one. But it's Joaquin Phoenix, so you know that it's going to have a good performance at least. It's just maybe the story doesn't resonate. I always give Joaquin the benefit of the doubt. But Beau is Afraid, opening up this month, right? I'll have to check it out at the Art House Theater. If it's not going to play in the main theaters, it should. When is this released? It should. Okay. Beau is Afraid release date? April 20th. Oh, so it's opening up this weekend, yeah. Limited release? April 21st in Canada. Yeah, so it's this weekend. But I'll tell you this much. Between Beau is Afraid and Evil Dead Rise, Evil Dead Rise will win 100% to get my money first. Because I'm a horror fan. I'm a little bit biased. I got no problems admitting that. Do you think we'll get a sequel for Renfield? Nope, not with that. If the budget was 65 million and it only made 10 million, nope, that's not happening. Just be happy that we got the first one. That's what happens. Okay. Chris Schober says, talking about long run times, let's talk about Killers of the Flower Moon, the Martin Scorsese film. Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon will reportedly make history thanks to its run time. The acclaimed director's next film may be the longest of his career. And The Irishman was 4 hours, right? Talking about the studios letting creators have long rope, having a long leash. Martin Scorsese's been getting away with this. I hate to break it to you, Martin Scorsese, and who am I to tell a well-funded, a well-acclaimed director who's going to go down in the history books as one of the best directors of all time? Who am I to tell him that he's getting out of hand for like run times? Well, it's me, James from Mirror Domains. That's who's telling you that your run times are getting obscene. Yes. So this one's going to be 5 minutes longer. Killers of the Flower Moon said it was 5 minutes longer than Once Upon a Time in America. So this means that Scorsese's new movie will be 3 hours and 54 minutes long. But of course, that's not the final runtime by any means. It may change throughout post-production. So that's not the final time, but 3 hours and 58 minutes. Killers of the Flower Moon. So basically, he's over the 3 hour mark. I look at The Irishman, and I'm like, okay, that was 4 hours, right? The Irishman. Let's just take a look at that. That was 3 hours and 29 minutes. Oh, okay, 3 hours and 29 minutes. But I thought it was 4 hours. Okay, so it's definitely longer than The Irishman. But you look at The Irishman. That could have easily been, half an hour of that could have been cut out, like easily. Even 45 minutes of that could have been cut out, and it would have been a much tighter film. The thing is that when you let someone like Scorsese or an Ari Aster say, it's you can do whatever you want, here it is. I still think that the studio should just like, yeah, you direct it, but we have say on final cut. Because between Ari Aster and Martin Scorsese, you're asking a lot of the audience to sit down for these long-winded films, and if they don't deliver, like an Avatar, which this is not going to be an Avatar, it's going to be a well-crafted film, like composed, but as far as story structure and delivery, I don't know. It just gives me pause. Why does this story? What was this story? It's about a bunch of like. Is Leonardo DiCaprio stands up for some First Nation or Native American rights as some oil people try to take over their land or something like that. It's a period piece. But yeah, it's over. It's just under 4 hours, guys. Is anybody gonna like? The only movie that I would go see 4 hours in the theater would be Lord of the Rings. The extended cuts, but even then, you can take a break in halfway through, right? You can have there better be an intermission, for crying out loud, my God. But it's like, who's going to say no to Scorsese? No, you can't have a 4 hour film. No, it's got to be 2 hours. It's like, I don't understand this. I don't, because I use this analogy all the time with animated films. You don't animate a whole bunch of extra scenes. You don't spend money animating a whole bunch of extra scenes just for the possibility of maybe using them later on down the line. You got storyboards, you got pre-visualization that comes in and says, okay, this is how tight the script is going to be. And they do that for movies. Killers of the Flower Moon is like reported to be over a budget of $200 million. And it's going to be on a streaming service. I don't understand it. And now, unless you're Francis Ford Coppola with Megalopolis, where you put $100 million of your own money into it, that's the only case where I should say that you should have say over the final cut. But I'm like, I don't understand it. The studio would have greenlit a script that was that long. I understand that when you film stuff that you got to have like a beginning and the ending of a sequence, like let's say you're filming somebody driving up to a building and getting out of the car as an establishing shot. What's the most information in that? Somebody is in front of a building, getting out of the car, arriving at a scene. Now you film the car driving up and stuff as kind of like B-roll stuff. That stuff can get trimmed out, and that's really noticeable in stuff like Zack Snyder's Justice League version, which I actually prefer. But there's so many long zoom-ins to shots establishing scenes that, like, all of that stuff is necessary to film because you may need it just for pacing wise. But once you realize that you got like a 3-hour film, all of that stuff can start to get cut out. That's where you need to start cutting stuff out. And if I'm sitting down in Killers of the Flower Moon and every shot is like a long establishing tracking shot of, you know, these two people sitting in a kitchen, it's gonna wear down on me, man. I'm gonna be able to just point it out. Apple TV Plus gets this movie. It's going to be debuting at Cannes Film Festival. Why does it look like it's green here? There's nothing green in this. Anyway, yeah, I'm rambling, and I'm losing my train of thought there. But what do you guys think about that runtime for Killers of the Flower Moon? It's just a little bit ridiculous in my book. But anyway, let's talk about The Little Mermaid. That got some runtime revealed as well. The Little Mermaid reported runtime will break record for Disney live-action remakes. Now, it's not going to be a 4-hour film. You see, again, yes, because you've got visual effects, you've got sequences that you need to, like, you just can't afford to go out and have all those extended shots of, like, animated pieces where it's like, well, if we're not going to have that in the movie, we don't need to spend money on it animating it. Filming a car drive up to a place is not that much more expensive. It's just like, oh, yeah, we're here on set, just have it drive up. Turn on the camera. That's it. Wide angle, done. That's not that much. But when it comes to animated stuff, yeah. So what is the runtime? 2 hours and 15 minutes. Ooh. 135 minutes for The Little Mermaid, which is an hour longer than the animated version. Really? The animated version was only an hour and 15 minutes? Seriously? An hour and 20 minutes. Wow. Huh. Fascinating. I didn't know it was that. Now, that's the kind of runtimes that I really like. Huh. Okay. Well, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, that is an hour. I wonder how that's going to resonate. What's interesting, though, is that the runtime of The Little Mermaid becomes the longest live action. Breaking records like that is nothing you should be proud of. I am curious to see it, but that runtime, dude, like, if the original story was an hour and 20 minutes, what else more are you adding into this? What are you injecting into this story that's bloated it out for another hour? Again, you've got a model to work from, a construct, a template of an hour and 20-minute movie. If you're bloating it with backstory of things that are just kind of like meh, people are going to just turn off. It'll be like, yeah. So you gotta be careful with these things for sure. 2 hours and 15 minutes is a bit long for young people to be sitting in the theater, I say. This one could come back to hurt them. That's a long runtime. Anything over 2 hours it's long, guys. It's really long. Yeah, I think that one may be. That's gonna be a gamble, huge gamble, and it's not like if I were a betting man, I would bet against it, man. Killers of the Flower Moon has Leonardo DiCaprio in it, which is Leonardo DiCaprio's character from Killers of the Flower Moon movie. What? What is Leonardo DiCaprio's character of Killers of the Flower Moon? Let's pull up the IMDb. The Osage Murders of the Birth of the FBI. FBI is the third book. Okay, so his character is named Ernest Bocart. So I think he must be one of the FBI agents. Members of the Osage tribe in Osage, United States, are murdered under mysterious circumstances in the 1920s, sparking a major FBI investigation involving J. Edgar Hoover. So yeah, he must be one of the agents that comes to that Osage tribe to figure out what the heck's going on. Remember, as I said, it has to do with like an oil company running them off the land and killing them, which is, God, I don't know if I want to watch that for personal reasons, but I'll watch it anyway because I'm sure it's gonna hopefully bring some exposure to what happened. If that is true, I don't know if this is based. They're saying sparking a major FBI investigation. If it's based on true events or not, is it? Let's see if it's based on a true story. That left 24 Native Americans dead. My God. Just, yeah. That's the story that's going to bum me out. And I have to sit for 4 hours watching Killers of the Flower Moon. It's going to be rough, guys. All right, let's cheer things up a little bit. Let's talk about the Wicked movie. Wicked, we got some new images. That's that adaptation from the Broadway musical, right? Wicked. It's going to have Ariana Grande. Grande. So there's a typo there in the headline. And Cynthia Erivo from John M. Chu's adaptation, Wicked. It's actually supposed to come out next year. It's still a long way off, right? It's like a musical about the witches of Oz. So we got some images there. Now that's really small. I just want to make sure we get a release time. Duff Cameron's thoughts. Is that from the movie? That can't be from the movie. Interviewed by The Wrap. She opened up to the process. I definitely went for it. I know that everybody who did go out for it, it was a very long process. It was a longer process than I've been a part of. Wicked Part 1 is debuting in theaters after Thanksgiving, November 27th. So Part 1, yeah, it's 2 parts. So Part 1 comes out this year. Okay. And then Part 2 is next year. Let's take a look at those images. Yes, they're very dark. And that's Ariana, I think, going up the stairs. Let's see if we can blow that one up a little bit. Okay, let's see if we can brighten it. Yeah, so it's far away, guys. Yeah, I can't make that one any bigger without losing some of the resolution. As you can see, you can't make that much details out on it anyway. Okay, and the other one was just the Green Witch. So that's okay. You can't really see her face either. I'm not going to blow that one up. The Wicked. So Part 1 this November. I'm looking forward to it. I really want to see what Ariana can do. Because we've seen her as this minor part in Don't Look Up. But she played like a pop star in Don't Look Up. So it's kind of like it wasn't that big of a stretch for her. But I want to see what she can do. And we know that she can sing. So yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to that for sure. Is that one a little bit better? Yeah, that's not as... Just change the tinge of that light. All right. Okay, so Chris Schober decided to enlighten us by saying that he's having Kemp's Cherry Chunk Fudge with chocolate chunks ice cream and blueberry double strawberry swirl. I'm having 1 scoop each for lunch. Okay. Well, have at it, man. I can't have ice cream because I'm lactose, but whatever. Let's get into the Lord of the Rings topics. I know that there's lactose-free ice cream out there and stuff, but it's kind of like I'm also trying to watch my waistline. Anyway, let's talk about a couple of Lord of the Rings headlines here. Elijah Wood has concern over new Lord of the Rings movie plan. Yeah, they are going to be making more movies. We know that. So what's his concern? That they're going to retcon things or what? Let's just take a look at what he says here. Quote, I'm fascinated and I'm excited. I hope it's good. I'm surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised, because of course there will be more movies. Obviously, at the core of that is a desire to make a lot of money. It's not a bunch of executives. It's not that a bunch of executives are like, let's make some really awesome art again. Let's make some really awesome art. And again, and not begrudging anybody, because of course it's commerce, but great art can come from commerce. So those two things are not mutually exclusive. So he's saying that the drive to make money will outweigh the ability to make art. And that happens. We've seen that too in the industry quite a bit, right? Where it's kind of like we got to make money, so we got to turn out some crappy Fantastic Four movie so we don't lose the rights to it. Right? Like those kinds of things, right? Some people were mixed on The Hobbit. I liked the first two Hobbit. The third one is pretty much unwatchable for me. The Hobbit really should have been two movies. That's another movie where, again, it was planned as two movies. But then they extended it. They injected a whole bunch of other stuff into it to expand it for three movies. Huge mistake. And hopefully Little Mermaid doesn't suffer the same fate as kind of a mixed reception. Anyway, but Lord of the Rings didn't come out of that place he added. It came out of passion for these books and wanting to see them realized. Yeah, everybody who was involved with it, the cast, they all became friends. They all loved working together, and that translated very well into the movie. It did. So, yeah. Reboot, yeah, that's just from another interview. So he's got some pauses for concern for the new movies. We haven't heard exactly what those new movies are going to be about yet, right? Like one of them, well, we know that The War of the Rohirrim is an animated one that's coming out next year. And that one's not going to have a budget of $100 million. I don't think. Let's take a look. What is the budget? Maybe it's too early. They haven't figured. Well, yeah, it's still in production, so maybe they haven't finalized a final budget on it yet. But I would be hard pressed to think that this War of the Rohirrim is going to be $100 million. I don't see that happening. I'm looking forward to it though, for sure. Okay, what else do we got for Lord of the Rings headlines? Let's go to the TV show stuff. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Star teases what's in store for season 2. Okay, yeah, we know that they're filming season 2 now. And she's also in Mafia Mama, right? Which I'm going to go see tomorrow, so that's cool. I liked her. I liked the dwarf story in the first season of Rings of Power. Good chemistry between her and her husband. I thought all that stuff was fantastic. So what does she say here? Let's take a look. Quote, I cannot tell you how excited I am because there's just more of everything. Season 1 was this glorious introduction. We want to know the world, the culture, who are bringing this amazing story and its infrastructure to life. And that's what we see. The peaceful phrase, the introductory phrase, Nomvet said. Oh, okay. But yeah. As I said, I really liked it. And I loved what they did with Galadriel. I liked that arc. I liked the birth of Mordor. That whole sequence I thought was breathtaking. Because once you realize what's happening, it's kind of, yeah, you watch my full watch-alongs with these. Great. I liked it. And I can't wait for season 2. I'm one of the minority out there that I liked it. So, well, the actors that are involved with it are saying that they're excited for it. I know it didn't return exactly the way that the studio wanted, like Amazon bought it for like $1 billion. So it's kind of like, oof. And they can't. And the thing with with the Rings of Power is that they have only rights for the TV show. They can't use stuff from the movies, from what I understand. Yeah. It's weird how the rights issues work for that. But okay, I'll be looking forward to that. Whoops, sorry. I think they should have just had 3 Hobbit movies. They should have been a 2-part movie. I think they should have just for the 3 Hobbit movies have a 2-part movie. Yeah, 2-part movie. Well, it's still 2 movies, but yeah, it should have been in 2 parts. Like, there's a lot of stuff in there that, again, with the fluff, that could have been easily taken out. Stuff that could have been established easier and stuff like that. But that's story structure. Why do I keep on flashing this? Because this is what else you can find on the channel, guys. We do full movie reviews, and that's going to be the poll for next week. Next Grumpy Man, I'll put up the poll for this later today. The poll for next Tuesday will be Big Hero 6, Beauty and the Beast, and Moana for Grumpy Man Reacts. My episode 3 reaction is still being blocked. I'll hopefully get through that today. We watch Mandalorian on Wednesday. In fact, we'll probably be watching the first episodes of Clone Wars on Wednesday as well. Thursdays for Survivor. We watch movies like The Menu. We do Horror Weekly on Saturdays and stuff like that. So by all means, come and join this channel. Come join some of the social medias. Facebook is still messed up right now, guys. Remember, Facebook is Mirror Domains Official 4. 4, the number 4, right behind it. I'll fix that. I got to wait 60 days because when I was trying to set it up, if you make a typo in it, which I did, and you alter it, you're only allowed to correct it once, and then you got to wait 60 days to correct it again. So it's kind of like adding numbers on the end of it to try to fix it, and then I just made it worse. So it's kind of like it'll eventually go back to Mirror Domains Official. So I'm leaving that. I hate working with Facebook. It's my least favorite platform. Anyway, my friend David in the live chat says, hey, how's it going? We're just going through some headlines here. Let's get into some Game of Thrones headlines here, because we're getting some spin-off shows from that now again with HBO Max switching to now just Max. They said that they wanted to do an Aegon the Conqueror series. This is a good idea. Aegon. So if you watch the first season of Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, Aegon was the king that they referenced like 100 years before the events of House of the Dragon. And that's the Aegon that the king thought he was going to bequeath his kingdom to or whatever, right? But not the Aegon of Alicent. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what that story is, 100 years prior to the events of House of the Dragon. I think that's a bit much. I don't think we need to go there. Not everything needs to be a prequel to certain things, right? I think we're going to get enough of that, a spoonful of like the Targaryens with House of the Dragon, because that's going to go on for like R.R. Martin said that he wanted to get that like 4 seasons, right? I think that's a bit too much. And where the heck is the Jon Snow spinoff that was supposed to happen? Like, they shot pilots for sequels or spinoffs that weren't supposed to. Like, they shot a pilot with Naomi Watts, and then they scrapped it. There's supposed to be this Tales of Dunk and Egg spinoff that's supposed to come out. That's getting rebranded as what the heck is it called? A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the Hedge Knight. Is that what it's supposed to be called? Yeah. So it's not going to be a blog. But basically that, like Dunk and Egg, are kind of like the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of the Game of Thrones universe. So, yeah, I don't know. They greenlit the prequel series, Tales of Dunk and Egg. They just run the bit of the danger of what the MCU is running into now, with oversaturation. Got to be careful, right? Yeah, those are rough waters. Those are uncharted waters, right? You don't know how well it's going to do, but you got some indicators out there that if you do oversaturate stuff, people will just start to tune out. They will. Well, I'll keep my eye out on all those spin-offs. Out of all the spin-offs, I kind of want to see Kit Harington back as Jon Snow. Does he find love again up there in the north? Who knows? But that one leaves the door open for more cameos of like Sansa and maybe Arya. You know, I don't care about Bronn. Do you guys like? I think I'm in a safe camp by saying whatever with Bronn. Who cares? Yeah. All right. Let's get into some hit or miss because we're like in the last 8 minutes here. Secret Invasion finally fixed the MCU's decade-old S.H.I.E.L.D. mistake. Pulled this headline because of what is the decades-old S.H.I.E.L.D. mistake. Expand on her story, Maria Hill. Maria Hill is great. So they didn't do enough with her. That's the mistake. She's the sidekick to, well, not really the sidekick to Nick Fury, but she's always with him. Like Nick Fury's hand. Right hand. Why not? I wouldn't really call that a problem. Secret Invasion will give Maria Hill her biggest and best MCU story yet. I think a lot of fans out there will be happy. I don't know if that's really... Yeah, that one's kind of a miss headline for me. What's next? Is it too early to use the Joker in the Batman trilogy? Matt Reeves' Batman. Well, they've already kind of used him. So, again, I don't understand these articles that say, well, we just had too many Jokers. I don't want Joker. It's like, you're looking at it from a fan base of like the hardcore fan base. The casual fans out there, Batman, like that go out and make them billions of dollars. That kind of casual fan base, they associate Joker with Batman. So to have 3 movies without Joker actually appearing in it, no, you can't do that. With Batman comes Joker, or at least some tie-in with him. I say with the Matt Reeves, though, I think you're going to be in safe hands with Barry Keoghan. You're going to be in safe hands. So I kind of dismiss headlines like this. Yeah, this is splashed all over the trades this morning too, guys. THR had this. Deadline had this. This is entertainment news, sort of. But since like even the big trades are talking about this, we just got to be mindful of this, right? Fox News Dominion defamation case trial speculation. I just got revealed. It's only moved a day. They just moved it a day because they're saying that Fox has settled the Dominion case, which is, if you don't know, Dominion makes voting machines. Fox says that said that those machines were tampered with and smeared them all over their station for defamation. They defamed them. Dominion sued them for like $1.5 billion or something like that, or even more. But it looks like, yeah, that's my understanding of it. That's politics stuff. Do we really need to talk about that here on this channel? I don't. But since the big trades put it out there, it's kind of like, it's breaking news. It's kind of like, yeah, does it affect me too much? Not really. I don't watch Fox. I barely tolerate CNN. Just how much they spin stuff. It's just, I don't like it. I don't. It makes me feel gross getting into it. So let's not. All right. Let's talk about some Reddit stuff. Get into the Reddit roundup. Sometimes every now and then I like to go onto the Reddit page and just take a look to see what's trending out there. See if I missed anything, because sometimes they also have some good discussions as well. Mega thread about Renfield, how to blow a pipe. What? The funniest use of swearing in a movie. Funniest use of swearing. Not in a Tarantino movie, because every second word is an F-bomb. You know what movie had a good use of swearing? Was the trailers for Spy, that Melissa McCarthy spy movie, where you heard Jason Statham in the boardroom or whatever. How the F did that T word get our names? I think that was probably one of the funniest uses of swearing, because it was a comedy, but you see Statham running like a serious character. It was like, yeah, that was pretty funny. That one was funny. What was the best premise for the worst movie you've ever seen? What was the best movie? What was the best premise for the worst movie you've ever seen? The worst movie that I've ever seen. Huh. For me, it was Brightburn. Ooh, we did Brightburn and watch along here. I like Brightburn. I wouldn't call that a bad movie. It was a good premise. The premise carried it for sure. Uh, worst for the worst movie that I've ever seen. Oh, The Bubble. Huh. The Bubble of a bunch of people stuck in a hotel trying to make a movie. I think that's a funny premise, but it's by far the worst movie I've ever seen in recent years. Yeah. See some other names that jump out here. Downsizing, good premise. Yeah, I like that premise too. I like Downsizing as a premise, but it was kind of like, what is this movie? Towards the end, Man of the Year, Robin Williams, Bright, fantasy movie. Oh yeah, that's where they're playing cops and one's like an ogre. I don't know if that's a good premise. That was on Netflix with Will Smith, right? Mortal Engines. Oh yeah. Oh God. Mortal Engines. I don't know what the heck would happen to that movie. That one was boring as all. Oh, nothing. Chris Schober says, I heard that James Gunn might have a Peacemaker season 2. Yeah, but apparently, Chris Schober, it's not going to be for a while. Maybe that'll be in the Twitter roundup. I hope Sharon Carter, granddaughter, will appear in Maria Hill series. Maybe. Happy Gilmore cursing the ball, great swearing in a movie. Yeah, that Adam Sandler, get in the hole. Yeah, that stuff was funny. Worst movie I've seen, Music 2021 with Kate Hudson and Leslie Odom Jr. That was a good premise, but bad movie, apparently. Okay. Yeah. The Happening. Somebody said. Yeah. The favorite scenes in otherwise, what your favorite scenes in otherwise unfavorite movies? X-Men Apocalypse is not my favorite X-Men movie. It's pretty underwhelming. Well, I'll give you one that I saw this morning on a short. You guys know how much I hate The Last Jedi, but that scene where R2 shows the message from A New Hope to Luke, that's a good scene. Unfortunately, the rest of the movie sucks. So, yeah. But I love Evan Peters, so let's take a look at what some of their suggestions were. X-Men Origins Wolverine. X-Men Origins Wolverine was terrible. But I like the fights between... I like the first fight between Sabretooth and Wolverine. Because that's Lee F. Schreiber. Some other suggestions. Pearl Harbor. The Pearl Harbor scene in Pearl Harbor, like the bombing scene. Yeah, that was a good sequence. That's Michael Bay. Definitely the highway chase in Matrix Reloaded. No, actually, I like Matrix Reloaded. X-Men Last Stand was somebody. Favorite scene in unfavorable movies. Curious. Yeah. Hellboy 2019 was a bad movie with cool scenes. Yeah, Hellboy did have some good scenes. I wouldn't call it a bad movie, though. Piano for Netflix, Michelle Mitchell versus the Machines. Some editorials. In Bruges is an amazing movie. A movie you did enjoy as a kid, but love even more as an adult when you realize how deep it is. What? For example, Lilo and Stitch has so many hidden details. Really? I haven't watched Lilo and Stitch. We know that we're getting a live action for that. That's an interesting topic. What movie did I enjoy as a kid, but even more as an adult when you realize how deep it is? Tron? No, Tron's not that deep. RoboCop? I definitely loved RoboCop when I was young, but that's I always understood the violence of that. Monty Python, Iron Giant, Modern Times. Last Action Hero. Yeah, I definitely like. I was one of the people that actually liked Last Action Hero when it came out. It was a bit long, but I know that people didn't like it at first. But when you come around to it, I dug it. I dug that concept. Have you seen Beavis and Butthead do the universe? No, I have not seen Beavis and Butthead do the universe. I think I had my chance to, but I didn't see it. Yeah. Interesting topic. All right, guys, we are running a little bit of overtime, so whatever. Let's go over to the Twitterverse and see what's going on over there. In case I missed anything that was trending. And we'll do some shorts and later today and stuff like that too. Where the heck is my Twitter page? While that loads, we can take some time out and tell you what's happening, guys. Tonight starts the playoffs for the NHL. So I picked my picks for the first round. Here are my picks. Here's my teams. Basically, in this playoff pool on Sportsnet, fantasy hockey playoff pool, you just pick your teams. I'm betting hard on the Boston Bruins and Colorado Avalanche. So if you don't know who any of these players are, that's who I'm betting on. Colorado and Boston Bruins as our final for the playoffs. Here you can see like the playoff bracket. Just offering you my opinions on this. If you're not a hockey fan, you won't understand what I'm talking about. I'm an Avalanche fan. That was my first team that I started to watch. They should beat the Seattle Kraken fairly easily. Dallas, Minnesota. I don't really care who comes out of that one. Las Vegas and Winnipeg. I would like Winnipeg to beat them, but I think Las Vegas. Winnipeg's coming in as a wild card team. Vegas should handle that one. Oilers in LA. I want, because I used to live in Edmonton, I want the Edmonton Oilers to win. So I'm thinking Oilers, Las Vegas Golden Knights, Dallas Stars, and Colorado Avalanche to make it through the second round. And this starts all tonight. And that's in the Western Conference. In the Eastern Conference, you got Boston against Florida. That'll be interesting. Florida's a strong team, but Boston's been just ruining everybody. So I expect Boston to come out of that. And it sucks that the Leafs have to take on the Lightning, who suck towards the end of the season, but for some reason they always become indestructible in the postseason. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Leafs get eliminated, if anybody folds and buckles, like where, as I said, the Lightning are known for like just becoming unbeatable in the postseason. The Maple Leafs are known to completely collapse and buckle. If they get swept, I'm going to wear my jersey tonight. Tonight, I am going to wear my jersey, my Maple Leafs jersey. So I'll be cheering them on. This lower bracket, I don't understand. This is like really weak teams in here, but Carolina Hurricanes, New York Islanders, maybe Carolina, I guess, will come out. New Jersey Devils and Rangers. I expect actually, that one might be an interesting series, but I think Rangers are going to come out of that one. We'll have to see. But it all starts tonight, guys. And as I said, I'm playing in that playoff pool. So those are my picks. We'll have to see how I do. Each round you get to pick a new slate of people, right? It's just whoever gets hot, whoever you can put the star on somebody and you get double the points. So I'm putting it on Pasternak from Boston, Lindholm as a defenseman. It's going to be all Boston. I'm going Boston heavy. I'm kind of ashamed. I should have some Edmonton Oilers in here, but you only have a certain amount of points to spend. The only other person I could take out is maybe I could downgrade Austin Matthews. I could downgrade Austin Matthews and not go with the Leafs and maybe take out Nishkashin and put in Connor McDavid. I still may make that change later on. We'll have to see. But guys, who is your favorite NHL team? Let me know in the comments. Who are you rooting for? I just hope Boston goes down at some point. But I don't see any of these other teams here in the East. I don't see anyone that can give the run for the money, unless, as I said, Tampa becomes indestructible again and steamrolls everybody, which they've been. That's why they've had 2 cups in the last 3 years, right? Or whatever. Yeah, we'll have to see. All right, let's round up the show. That's enough sports talk for me. Film updates. What do I miss? Any new trailers? A new trailer for The Idol has been released. Okay. Yeah. Blue Jays did a nice job taking up the series against Tampa Bay over the weekend. Yeah, except for yesterday when our ace got blown out by Tampa Bay. Like our Alec Manoah got totally tuned up in the first inning. Oof. Yeah. Mia Goth on Maxine. Maxine has come a long way. She's a survivor. She's gone through a lot. When we meet her again in this new world that she's in, she's really tough. Or she's really fought for everything that she has, and she's not about to give that up. Yeah, they're filming Maxine right now, and it's got a great cast. It really does. What is that cast, may you ask? Let's just go take a look. Kevin Bacon's in it, I think, right? That's cool. If I'm thinking about the right one. Maxine? Ty West? That's the 3rd movie in the X and Pearl, right? Elizabeth Debicki's in this. Oh God. Yeah, she's drop dead. Yeah, Kevin Bacon, he's right there. Halsey's going to be in this. Lily Collins. Oh, we haven't seen Lily Collins in a hot minute, have we? Moses Summy, Giancarlo Esposito, Moff Gideon himself is going to be in this. Michelle Moynihan. Cool, man. Yeah, Elizabeth Debicki. She's getting notoriety right now as from The Crown, right? I like her. I like Tenet. She's the best thing to come out of Tenet for me. She won my eye from Tenet, and I look forward to her work. I know that she's in Guardians of the Galaxy universe as one of the ladies that's painted gold, right? Is she going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Let's take a look at her resume. Yeah, she's Diana in The Crown. Okay, so she is going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Cool. So we'll see her Aisha character. She's tall. That's what I like about that too. Lily Collins. Yeah, what's she been in? Emily in Paris. Oh yeah. Emily in Paris is big for her, right? Windfall, Curb Your Enthusiasm, a lot of TV, other stuff. She did a movie for Netflix. Maxine, House Stars, Titan. What was that movie? Les Miserables, Last Tycoon, The Dig, Okja. Oh yeah, Okja was on Netflix, right? Extremely Wicked and Shockingly Evil and Vile. Inheritance, that's the one I'm thinking about. In 2020, she did Inheritance, where she inherits like her dad's house or something, and then she realizes that her dad has somebody buried in a bomb shelter. That's an interesting premise. It just kind of lost a little bit of its believability when they made a twist in it, where it's kind of like, should she turn this case over to the police, and she doesn't. Simon Pegg, also very interesting performance by Simon Pegg. I didn't even recognize that was him because he changed his Scottish accent. He doesn't talk with it in this movie, which actually showed him a little bit of range. Interesting movie, Inheritance. Yeah, maybe I'd liked it better than I thought I did. Yeah. Argyle says the Belfast Giants in Northern Ireland won their first triple in ice hockey. I used to follow New Jersey Devils, so when I worked in New Jersey, so I'll be back then. Yeah. New Jersey was taking on, they're taking on the Rangers, right? And they're, yeah, I just don't know about that division. I'll keep my eye on it though. As I said, it starts tonight, so once I'm the kind of guy who you put on any of those games, and I just get sucked into it. It's just like because it's a better brand of hockey than regular season hockey. It's faster and it's more intense, and it's just kind of like, wow. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's get back into this stuff. Night Island, 6-part short form series based on Anne Rice's interview with a vampire, and Queen of the Damned is in the works. What? A 6-part short form series based on interview with a vampire. But they got a TV show on AMC called Interview with a Vampire. What the heck? Oh, so he's not Scottish. Simon Pegg's not Scottish. He's English. Okay, my bad. Arglass says. Oh, yeah, maybe I just got that because he did that for Scotty on Star Trek, right? Well, I don't know what's convincing with those accents. I'm really naive when it comes to all of them that they have over there. Anyway, where are we at? See if I missed anything else. The trailer for The Starling Girl. Rhea Cooper's Bar. Benedict Cumberbatch to star in How to Stop Me, the genre-bending series. Okay, so that's a series that he'll be in. As a high-stakes superhero thriller about men and women who suffer from a rare condition that makes them live for hundreds and hundreds of years. Well, that's getting close to one of my story premises. I've written a treatment story for about a guy who doesn't die. Like he like you can shoot him, stab him, fall off a tall building. He doesn't die, and the whole premise of it is just based around that. Like what happens when you can't die? And there's this one part of the story that I wrote where he's building like an old ship, wooden ship, and he falls down in between the planks, and he gets lost down there and stuck down there for like 40 years until the ship starts to fall apart, and then he falls out. It's kind of like he's stuck 40 years like that. That's not, that'll be like a minor part of the movie, but like think about that. Like that's the angle that I want that I would deal with of like how horrific that must be to know that you won't die. You won't die from hunger. You won't die from starvation. You won't die. You just don't die, and you're gonna survive to the Earth. Well, even beyond maybe the Earth blows up. You're just floating around in space like Starro. That kind of thing. There's so much you can do with that idea. Anyway, Succession was on last night. Whatever. Let's settle this. Succession crossed out or underlined. I don't know what that is. Dune. Rebecca Ferguson says Dune Part 2 is better than Part 1. That's me saying it without seeing it. That is me saying it is based on what I've read and what I've seen and what I've filmed. I think it's going to be better. Well, she was awesome. And she plays the mother of Paul Atreides, so that's going to be cool. She did a good job in that, too. Yeah, Dune Part 2 is easily one of my most anticipated films of this year. Brie Larson for Breakthrough Prize Ceremony Event. Breakthrough Prize Ceremony Event. What the heck is that? 12 years ago, the first episode of Game of Thrones premiered. Huh. 12 years, eh? Wow. A new episode of Succession. Ari Aster, Beau is Afraid. Made an estimated 320. Yeah, we saw that this morning. Glenn Powell. First Look. Wicked. Yeah, we saw those Wicked images. Well, yeah, did anybody watch Ana de Armas on SNL this weekend? Did she do a good job? Mario Bros, big at the box office. Yeah, let's end off with that. Oh, yesterday was Anya Taylor-Joy's birthday. 27 years old. Great career. We just watched her in Menu. She was really good in that. And I really liked her in Last Night in Soho. Actually, to tell you the truth, I think Last Night in Soho is probably my favorite performance of hers. She was awesome in The Menu, too. She was really good in The Menu. But then, of course, Queen's Gambit was awesome. All right, guys, I think that's it for me today. Vanessa Hudgens is not in Coachella. Ali Wong. She's in Beef, right? I hear good things about Beef too. I need to watch Beef. The Covenant comes out this week. Looking forward to it. The Covenant. Yeah. Covenant. Let's take a look. Not Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. Was that the one you're talking about? April 21st. Okay. Wow. Now, that's flown completely under the radar. If it's supposed to be coming out this weekend, I haven't even seen one commercial for it. Oh, no, I lie. Yes, I have. No, yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal. It said Western. Why did it say Western? Oh, war. Okay. I was like, well, it's not a Western. It's more of a war. I've seen the trailer for that. Yeah. That's going to be on streaming service, though, right? It's not going to be on theater? Maybe I got that wrong. Anyway, be looking forward to that. Let me just refresh my YouTube page to see if any other trailers dropped. In case something did, I'll do trailer reaction for that. But other than that, guys, I think we pretty much covered everything. I'm going to publish a whole bunch of shorts later on today, too. Get back into the shorts. The Idol. Yeah, don't really need to do the Idol. All right, so there you go. That's it for me today, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Join us tomorrow for more movie news. Oh, yeah, we were going to watch the Clone Wars movie. Might do that tomorrow as well. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants this week because I got some things coming up that I kind of have to leave my schedule open, which sucks because I'm waiting for confirmation on something. And once that happens, I'll give the news to the channel. We're not going anywhere, but it's just kind of like, yeah, there's some adjustments that will have to happen to the schedule. I'm just kind of sitting on my hands waiting for a certain go-ahead on something. But then we'll have to see how that goes. Watch Anya Taylor-Joy and Thoroughbreds. Mad good. Okay, cool. I think that's one of the few I haven't seen. From hers. I haven't seen that, and I haven't seen that other one. The Jane Austen one. What is that called? Yeah. Anyway. That's it. Cheers. Our Glass Vikings. Bye for the Hobbit. Chris Schober, thank you very much for joining me. See you next time on Mirror Domains. Yeah, Emma, yeah.